Hello, welcome to this video on AWS Lambda. Today we will learn what AWS Lambda is, its key features, and how to use it with API Gateway to build serverless applications. Let's start with AWS Lambda. AWS Lambda is a serverless compute service that lets you run code without managing servers. It's triggered by events like API calls, file uploads, or database updates. The key point of AWS Lambda is it automatically scales and you only pay for the time your code runs. Why Lambda? AWS Lambda is used to run code without managing servers, automatically scaling with the demand and charging only for the compute time you use. Here are the key features of AWS Lambda. First one is serverless. No need to manage infrastructure. Event driven, triggered by specific actions. And it supports multi-languages like Python, Java, Node.js, and some others. And it automatically scalable. Finally, it's cost efficient. Pay only for the compute time you use. Now let's understand the Lambda function. A Lambda function is your code that gets executed when triggered. It's highly configurable, allowing you to set runtime, memory, timeout, and environment variables. Now let's understand the AWS Lambda methods. AWS Lambda method refers to the workflow of using Lambda in an application. Here is an outline of the methodology. First one is write the code. Develop a function in your preferred language. The function should contain the logic to handle the specific task triggered by an event. Package the code. If your code has dependencies, you may need to package it as a deployment package like zip file before uploading to Lambda. Set up Lambda function. Configure your Lambda function in the AWS console. Define runtime, memory allocation, execution timeout, and environment variables. Define triggers. Specify which AWS service or external source will trigger the Lambda functions. Triggers like uh, an HTTP request to your API gateway, a file upload to S3 bucket, a table update in DynamoDB. Next one is deploy and test. Deploy the function and test it using the testing frameworks like Postman. And the final one is scale and monitor. AWS Lambda automatically scales based on demand. Use tools like CloudWatch Metrics and X-Ray for monitoring and tracing. And now, AWS API Gateway. API Gateway works with Lambda to build APIs. Your define resources and methods in API Gateway, link them to Lambda, and deploy to make them accessible via HTTP. Now let's dive into hands-on. To begin, navigate to your service folder on your computer and open a command prompt. Then run the command mvn clean package -p lambda package. This command will generate the required zip file for deployment. Now, zip file has been created. Next, go to S3 bucket. Now, create a bucket. Name your bucket, service. Ensure bucket versioning is enabled. Then create bucket. Then go inside the bucket. Now upload that zip file. Now file has been uploaded. Now upload the identity service package. Then the zip file has been uploaded. Now go to AWS Lambda. Now click on create function. I'm going to give a function name as GTS cities service. Then select your runtime as Java 21. Create function. Okay. Now scroll down. Go to code section. Here upload from Amazon S3 and go to S3 bucket. Open your bucket and select your zip file. I'm going to copy this endpoint, paste it over here, and save. Now again scroll down, runtime settings, edit, and now open your VS Code. Okay, now copy this, paste it over here, and also I'm going to copy this, and that's it. Save. Now scroll down and go to configurations, edit, memory. I'm going to give 1023 and timeout will be 15 minutes and save it. Next, we need to create a new function for identity service. Now I'm giving the name GTS identity and runtime Java 21. Create function. Now upload from, go to S3 bucket. Now open the zip file identity service and copy this endpoint, paste it here, runtime, Now go to configuration, edit, 15 minutes, save it. Now make sure your RDS is available. Uh, Open API gateway. Now scroll down, go to REST API, build, API name. I'm going to give GTS identity API. Now create. Now create resource. Now resource name. First one is API and make sure the enable of cross origin resource sharing. Create resource. Again create resource. Now V1. Now create method. Select method type post. Choose GTS identity function. Then create method. Then click on deploy API. Choose new stage. Stage name I'm going to give dev and click on deploy and copy this invoke URL. Now okay. Now go to configurations and triggers. Here you can see the trigger and copy this endpoint. Open your Postman and paste it over here. Send request. Now you can see here user email exists already. So I want to change the username. Successful. And do the same thing for put and get methods. And coming to the conclusion, AWS Lambda makes serverless computing easy and efficient. Paired with API Gateway, it's a powerful solution for modern applications. Thank you.